hunting,
fishing,
cooking,
camping,
conservation,
travel,
gardening,
photography, family.
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 This is the Outdoor Rules Podcast.
What's the puppy's name?
His name is Leo. They named him Leo.
Nice.
Funny
Leo.
story. They named him Leo after my dad's favorite blues harmonica. And
which is Leo Oswald, according to John.
Leo Oscar.
Oscar. Okay, Leo Oscar.
And I have the same harmonica, and I looked at it, and I was like, Dad, it's not Leo. It's Lee. And he's like, no, it's not. I've been playing these harmonicas for 40 years. And he goes and he gets his case, and it's Lee Oscar. Well, we're not changing the name.
Leo, short for Lee Oscar.
Yeah.
No.
I call him Leonard. So,
There you go.
yeah.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Do you need any prep for this?
No.
Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Outdoor Rules Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us today. Couple of the regular guests around. Say hi, Caitlin.
Hello.
And Mark and Rachel are on.
Hello.
Hello.
I like how you smiled at us there, Rachel. It's hard for people to hear you smile.
Well, if this is going up on video, I have to at least look friendly.
I don't know why. I've never succeeded at that. There's videos of me out there. I just wanted to get together with you guys and kind of do like a little bit of a catch-up episode because it's kind of been a little bit of a weird period, I think, with the podcast. We got together for a big family reunion a couple of weeks ago, right, Mark?
Yeah, unfortunately, Caitlin had to stay home. So we got you instead.
Well, that's too bad. You got me and Emmett, though.
Well, yeah, Emmett was great.
But no, it was really fun to come home and be there. And we got Uncle Dick at 90 years old to come to the reunion. And then, of course, Uncle Sim came in from Western Pennsylvania, and a lot of families showed up. There were more than 50 people there, I think, right?
Yeah, it was a good turnout. A lot of good conversation.
Yeah, and in being home for doing that, I ended up, we recorded a bunch of podcasts, at least 4. We put 3 out in the last 3 weeks of those. They were the one about zoos with Dale and Denise, which I really like that one, Caitlin. I don't know. You had a chance to listen to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, Dale is such an interesting guy, and I mean Denise is too. It's funny to have it's so hard to describe who those people are, but they're dad's cousins. They feel like aunts and uncles. But I mean, growing up, it was like that. My uncle was a zookeeper, and my aunt was a welder. Like that's how I always thought of them. But they're just like the nicest people in the world, and I thought Dale really did a nice job.
I agree.
Kind of tying together the conservation connections there. Did anything stand out about that one for you guys?
I mean, they're just such easy people to talk to. And their stories are incredible.
Yeah, they're fascinating.
What I really took from it was I really want to try dandelion salad now with hot bacon dressing.
Oh, yeah.
Got
I thought
plenty
you
of
were...
them.
Sorry, Rachel. What was that?
I was just saying we have plenty of them in our yard.
I thought, Mark, you were going to say what you took from it was don't put a bison in the back of an ambulance.
There was a story he had that I was
like
hoping...
a Roger Miller song.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? He had a story about transporting antelope that was hilarious that I remember that I was hoping he would tell. But he's got, I mean, you could have him on for 10 episodes and every funny story he has.
And it's like we keep, we've teased it a bunch of times and we just have yet to record it. But we could totally have him back for another one when we talk about, animal encounters and Caitlin and Rachel,
John,
your dad, John, and the monkey stories, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. And then, we did a couple episodes, one about springtime on the farm, which was fun. And then, the last week's about the Hershey story, and Caitlin and I actually got a bunch of windshield time last weekend, and we started listening to an audiobook that was even more depth about Hershey and Milton S. Hershey. And man, that guy was fascinating.
Yeah, we haven't finished it, but so far it's really pretty good story.
What was that book called? Hershey?
It's Milton Hershey, More Than Chocolate by Janet and Jeff Benge.
I mean, he was a kid during the Civil War, and close enough to Gettysburg that he could hear the cannon fire and stuff, and he really did have some major business failures before finally succeeding. And it I don't know, it really is an all-American story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've been kind of, ticking through those episodes, and we've got at least one more. We recorded one that I really like about the Cornwall iron furnace and iron mining and Uncle Sim's experiences, working not just there, but, also all around the world in mines. But that it really is a fascinating piece of history from where we grew up, from that part of Pennsylvania that we grew up in. But one of the things is we had all those great episodes that we recorded during that time. So it's been a little bit weird for the podcast, I think, in a couple ways. One, this is the first that I've recorded a podcast now, I think, in almost a month, which is super weird. I just haven't been doing any recording since I got home. And of course it's springtime, as we sit here recording this, we're into the third week of April now. And I don't know, I always feel like things kind of pick up a little bit post winter, and I wanted to check in, about that. And then I think the other thing that's been a little bit weird for the podcast is that we've been doing family stories and, mixed with local history stuff. We haven't really been doing too much of the hunting and fishing stuff, which is fine. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of just check in with you guys, and maybe we can even call Matt in a little bit and talk about spring pursuits and things that are going on. I know it's been a little tough for you, Mark, right? It's kind of the busiest time of year for you at work.
Yeah, we're in the thick of mower season right now, so it's been quite busy. Hard to get any time away, and we're a little bit shorthanded at work, so just putting a lot of hours in.
Mower season does not sound anywhere near as fun as turkey season.
I imagine not. I've said this before in the podcast. I've never really worked in jobs where I've had a ton of time in the spring to be able to turkey hunt. So I've only had a few opportunities at it.
Yeah.
It seems like that's a lot more fun than mower season.
Maybe you should try shooting the mowers.
Then he might not have that job next spring, and that solves the problem.
There you go.
I do mean the machines, not the mowers that are operating them.
Not the people that are operating it. I'm gonna
clarification.
No comment.
I know it really stinks. We really want you guys to come out and turkey hunt with us out here, and we totally get that it's just a really horrible time of the year for you to try to do that, because wedding season's picking up, I would imagine, too, right, Rachel?
Yeah, it picked up.
Yeah.
So 1 to 2 weddings most weekends. Luckily this year it's a little bit more spread out, but last weekend I had 2, and the first weekend of May I have 2, and then it slows a little bit, which will be nice, but yeah.
It's it has been, well, if you're new to the podcast, Rachel's a professional photographer. She's the reason we have any photo that you see around Outdoor Ruhl stuff that you're like, wow, that's a great photo. There's a pretty good chance Rachel took it or Caitlin's dad took it. The rest of us are middling at best at photography. So we're really lucky to have that skill set be part of the family too. But turkey season has begun here, right, Kaylin?
Yep. April 15th.
Started a week ago.
Ooh, tax day. Turkey day seems a lot more fun than that, too.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey season is definitely more fun than tax season. Caitlin and I had a really exciting first, 20 minutes of turkey season?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, maybe shorter.
Yeah. We leverage turkey season almost as, I really kind of think of it as our Valentine's Day. Do you think of it that way, Kaylin? I
do now.
Now that I said it, or
yeah.
Is that the only option he gives you?
She's got to take what she can get in the romance department.
No, I mean, I don't know how it took me this long, but I finally had the eureka this year that us being together and hunting on the opening day of turkey season was especially important to you. And we've done it a lot of years, but anyways, so yeah, I get that now. We've never framed it that way, but it makes sense.
Yes, since kids have come along, it's been one day that we have tried, not always succeeded, but we have tried to have that as a day that we spend together, just the two of us, like go to camp the night before, sleep in a camper or whatever, or a tent, wake up at 4:00 in the morning,
mm-hmm.
hike around in the mountains when it's cold. And dark,
yeah.
and try to fool a turkey by sounding like a bird with a brain the size of a pea.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. And we've actually, I was looking back, I think over the last 6 years, we're like 50% now for success on the first day. So that's not too bad.
What I would have guessed.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that we're usually doing it in the same spot. We're usually taking the same hike and looking at the same trees. And I don't know.
You mean like we're together?
What?
No, you repeat the same.
She doesn't mean that we went to the same spot turkey hunting.
Location.
The same hike, the same tree, like we're going to the same trees, like where we walk in and we remember from every year all the stories of the turkey encounters.
But have you learned from the mistake where Mike fell? Was that turkey season?
We don't hunt there anymore.
Yeah, we haven't been back to the place I fell off the cliff while turkey hunting since that time, actually.
Really? I thought, didn't we go back? There was another time we went in that same spot and came across some guys that broke down, and we had to haul them back to town. Was that after?
I don't know. You might. Yeah, you would remember better than me.
No, I don't know.
We had Robert. We had Robert then. Because that was
Robert on both of them, I think.
That was with Poppy.
Didn't we?
I don't know. Time goes by too quickly. Sure. But it is, I don't know. It's become a really fun tradition, I think, to spend that time together.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to tell the turkey hunting story?
I can start it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we walked in the dark, in the cold, and had gone in there the night before, didn't hear anything. So but we had only gone part way. So it wasn't too surprising when we got to that point the next morning and still hadn't heard anything. And we're trying to decide. It was a little early yet. We thought there was a chance they may not be gobbling yet, but we decided to go one more ridge. We got to that ridge and went a little bit past it and then struck a gobble. Why are you laughing?
Well, I would just, because we decided to go one more ridge and then we got to that ridge and then we decided to go one more ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we heard him gobbling back on that other ridge.
Right.
It was hard to tell exactly where he was, but we figured he was on the roost still. But while we're standing there thinking about what to do, it seemed pretty clear that then he was off the roost because he seemed like he was getting closer. You were calling to him, right? Were you just hooting or were you?
I was just hooting at him until he was down.
Yeah. But we thought he was on the ridge and we were on the next ridge, but we decided there's a skinny meadow in between. We decided to try and get set up for if he were to cross the meadow, basically.
Yep.
And we're worried about going right on the edge of the meadow because that never works. So
they always come out somewhere where they can see you, and then they can't see a turkey where you're calling from, and they don't come.
Right. So we bump back up into the woods, and then here he comes within 90 seconds of us sitting down, I'd say, and he went straight up the middle of the meadow. And I've been telling people, you know how when your dog or whatever is like outside and you're trying to get them to come back, but they're kind of on a mission, and they'll be walking and they hear you and they may even turn and look at you and be like, did I come back? Nope. And keep going. He did that like 5 times.
Yeah.
He would stop and kind of look at us and square up, and you'd think, oh, maybe he'll take one step close to us. But he kept moving.
Yeah.
He had somewhere he wanted to be.
It seemed like I rarely have turkeys like that where I'm like, when I see them far off, it's rare that I'm like, oh, I think we're going to get this one. And as soon as I saw that turkey, I thought, oh, we're going to get this one. This is a really good situation. And that booger just kept on sliding right by us. He gobbled it. Everything we did. He got in a spot where he couldn't see us, and even though he was out in the open in the meadow, and I did like a fly down, where you like flap your hands against your chest, and man, that really fired him up. And then I even had a fan with me, and I got the fan out, and I was showing him the fan, and he would look at it and he would gobble if I called at him. And like you said, a couple times he turned. I thought, all right, now I got him broken down. He's going to come in here, and darn turkey just kept on going.
Yep.
Which I wasn't as disappointed in the moment, because I was excited about the spot that we were hunting. It had been really, really good last year, later in the morning. And then we got in there and we hunted till 12:30 or something and never heard another gobble. So they eluded us this year on our romantic turkey opener Valentine's Day adventure.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Anyway. But turkey season's going. We got big plans, right?
Yeah, we'll go back up in a few weeks with the boys.
Yeah, we're going to do a big family turkey camp with some friends and make a long weekend of it. The boys have they have a Friday and a Monday off, so we'll get out and do a little bit of camping.
Do you, are you able to decoy in New Mexico?
Yeah, we are able to use decoys. What would you say our experience with decoys is, Caitlin?
1 out of 4 times they've helped us.
I feel like that's optimistic. I feel like I generally get 2 reactions out of decoys.
Scare them away, or they attack it?
No, they completely ignore it. Like it's not even there. Like they never even look at it. Or they run away.
One time we had a turkey on the caldera. We had those turkeys come in.
Yeah, well, and I think that's like, of all the times we put decoys out, I can think of one time where it worked.
Yeah.
Right.
But it really worked. I think there were turkeys behind us and in front of us, like strutting and drumming.
Maybe the turkeys, maybe one of the group of turkeys was coming to the group of turkeys behind you, and the decoy had no effect on it.
Probably. That's probably exactly what it was.
That might be a fact, Mark. Yes.
But when I watch the Mountain Hollow guys, they have turkeys come in and destroy their decoys all the time.
Well,
why don't
they're
you
better turkey hunters.
Oh, fair enough.
We've established that in previous episode.
But that's kind of a fun thing with the podcast. If anybody's new to it, just in the last few weeks or last few months, is that we've got an official outdoor rules turkey call partner with Mountain Hollow Game Calls. Those guys have been great. I've been texting back and forth with them some. We're definitely going to do a end of turkey season review with them probably sometime in early June. So that's cool. I'm also, I was really proud of the episode that we made with Carl Malcolm from the Rough Grouse Society and American Woodcock Society. That one we got into some pretty serious conservation topics, and I thought that turned out to be a really nice episode.
Yeah, it was.
And they put the podcast episode, linked it in their
Bellwether.
Yeah, the Bellwether, which is like a online magazine or a newsletter that they put out. So might have gotten a couple more people to listen to us, which we really appreciate. And I think we'll do a little bit of social media around that sometime soon, right?
Yep. We just needed to have the correct video footage. I clearly do not know the difference between a snipe and a woodcock.
Apparently, it's hard to get good video of grouse, I've learned.
Yeah. I mean, they're
sneaky.
Yeah.
If we also learned that if you send somebody from the American Woodcock Society a video of a common snipe purporting to be a woodcock, that they call you out on it.
You're just testing them, making sure that they know what's up.
You passed the test.
Good job, Carl. You can tell the difference.
Couldn't get that one by you.
Oh man. No, that was a fun episode too. Rachel, are you guys gearing up for a big gardening season?
Yeah, we are. We have. I wish you had the thing. So Mark took our drone and he photographed the garden from up above and printed it out. We put it in like a, I don't know, clear plastic folder so we could dry erase or Sharpie over it to put what we planted. And we have things that are, we're planning for the spring. And then we even planned out what we're planning in the fall and what we could do in between. We even have planned out what we're planting in between the rows. And CJ loves to grow flowers to just pick and give away to people. So we have all that planned out. And I mean, she had hundreds of seeds to choose from. So we kind of planned everything methodically, and yeah, we're really excited. Mark was looking into, he stepped away. I think he's getting that garden paper I was talking about, but he was looking into something. There are some local farms, and it's not like big commercial farmers, but local farms that are doing a program where I forget the incentive behind it. Again, he can tell us as soon as he gets here. But basically, if you grow more than you can use, can you explain to them the program that you were looking into with the excess fruits, veggies, all the things? Well, he catches up mentally.
Oh, what?
Okay. This is, yeah. So we have everything planned out. I was telling him about the program that you found, that some other local farms are doing, where if you grow and then you have excess, you can provide or something like that.
No, that was your mom.
You brought it up to me multiple times. She didn't bring it up to me once.
I brought up to you one that a local Amish market does, that you pre-buy your groceries. That's what you're thinking of.
Am I?
Yes.
Oh, embarrassing.
You spend $300. It's really cool. When this is,
I thought you wanted us to. I thought you wanted us to participate in it.
No, you spend $300, and then for a certain number of weeks, I think it's 28 weeks. No, that'd be too many.
That's a lot of weeks.
Anyway, every week you get to go in there and you get $24. Basically, it works out you save $4 a week, and they give you whatever's in produce.
I don't know why I thought you were talking about us going in this program and whatever we have extra. I was like, we don't grow that much.
She doesn't listen to me when I talk.
This is true.
Well, you should try saying better things.
Yeah. Okay, well,
I'm an ideas guy. I came up with this plan. Thank you.
Yeah, with your laminated garden map.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. We're excited.
Well, that's good.
Got my taters in the ground.
Got strawberries.
Strawberries are planted.
We have a nectarine tree this year too. Yeah, but we've been having some crazy frost, and I mean, everyone was covering plants last night. I mean, we had last week, there were a few days that were in the mid 90s, and then we had like a freeze last
It was
night.
29 degrees this morning, so
Yeah,
peaches and nectarines are probably
Yeah.
not great.
we've had the same things here where, like you said, Rachel, in the mid 90s, and then I think it was 27 here the other night. So not going to be a good year for peaches around Santa Fe, which I know would probably surprise a lot of people that have never been here, but there's actually quite a bit of fruit grown along the Rio Grande Valley here, so it's probably going to be a hard year for all that.
Yeah.
This actually does all kind of remind me of something I think that we never talked about on the podcast, and it's come up a couple times, like, you know, Uncle Sim talking about his mom growing produce and going to market and selling cakes and produce and chickens and eggs and all the other stuff that they could sell at market. Caitlin got to experience a Pennsylvania Dutch market, something really similar. Actually, two things really similar still exist in the area there. Right, Caitlin? Or, I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
Mark or Rachel, why don't you describe what I'm talking about?
Roots?
And green and the green dragon.
Roots is a little more authentic still to this day. I think Green Dragon, there's a lot of vendors that sell things that you can get, knickknacks, like cheap clothing and toys, things like that. But
the bulk of it is they were, I would assume they were built as, they started mostly as auctions for produce, auctions for animals, and like seeds and stuff like that.
yeah, I'd say the majority of the people that you see there, that's why a lot of tourists love going to Roots. There's a lot of Amish, a lot of Mennonite. There's a huge flea market, tons of indoor and outdoor stands, and it's permanent stands, people who are there every week. And those vendors are there from 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Like it's a huge thing, and it's every single Tuesday. You can get live animals there. You can get chocolate covered bacon. You can get beautiful fresh produce and flowers. There's a kombucha stand where, good kombucha. And they pour it for you. They seal the bottle, and if you bring it back, you can get money off your next one.
Mike doesn't like kombucha.
No, I'm not a kombucha fan. Sorry.
Well, maybe you've not had good kombucha yet.
I'm more in the vein of what Caitlin found that she loved, which was what, Caitlin?
It was a pretzel roll with ham and cheese inside.
Mm-hmm.
Pretzel log.
Pretzel log.
Yeah.
It was very good.
It was very good.
They travel that. It was a bunch of Amish women, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were
travel.
Amish or Mennonite, but
I don't know. But they move to a couple of different locations with their truck, and their food is awesome.
You can get just the most fresh cuts of meat, scrapple.
Mike, what are your fondest memories of Roots growing up as a kid?
Well, I mean, I just loved going anytime we got to go. The couple things that stand out to me, one was a Green Dragon thing, because I think Green Dragon's always been a little more of the knick-knacky stuff. Pop Grant used to always be so proud of the watches that he bought at Green Dragon. He'd buy watches 2 for $5.
What do you do with them all?
Well, when you buy watches 2 for $5, they don't last all that long.
He wouldn't replace the batteries in them.
Yeah.
He would buy the watch because the batteries were more expensive than the watches were.
Right.
Yeah.
But we actually, when we at his funeral, he was buried in one of his Green Dragon watches. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yeah, I do.
So he loved those watches.
He really did. They didn't do anything but tell time.
It was like I remember they were like the stainless steel stretchy bands, and then they had it was a digital display,
right?
And it was just they'd all have different sayings on them. Like there'd be one with a bass on it, or one with a funny saying on it, or very Pop Grant.
And I mean, I just loved anytime we go there, all the food is it's amazingly good food. Everything from a fried fish sandwich to the pretzel logs to whoopie pies and all the homemade baked goods.
Cream puffs,
freshly squeezed,
sticky
do you
buns.
see cream puffs out there like we have? And is that an Amish thing? I don't know.
I don't think it's an Amish thing. I mean, I think that there's certain ways that they're made there that maybe is, I don't know if it's totally unique, but it's specific to that area. Like when you get a cream puff there, it's often a little bit different in terms of like the kind of filling that they use is not like a whipped filling. It's more of a
like an eclair filling.
Yeah. A pudding kind of filling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, cream puffs in Wisconsin are more, at least the ones I've had, are more of a whipped filling.
Right.
Roots was a lot more fun when I could have dairy.
That's so sad.
One of my favorite things, like when we were kids, and this was following you and Matt around, but was going and we go to the farms around and catch pigeons.
Yeah.
And then,
My brother and I took pigeons there too.
And then you'd take pigeons to Roots and sell them.
Yeah, we were always trying to sell pigeons at Roots at the live small animal auction to make money to buy pheasants and quail.
Mm-hmm.
It was which we never came anywhere close to breaking even on that proposition, but
That's okay.
we did a lot of it.
It's the memories.
Yeah.
I have lots of fond memories climbing around in barn rafters incredibly unsafely because my brother would send me up there to chase them and then, take the pigeons to Roots. I don't know if you guys have ever gone. I know that Dale is pretty fond of it, but the auctions that they have for the plants and the food, you can get some really great steals.
Yeah.
Yeah, produce. They auction produce off.
Right.
It'll be like a case of bananas.
like 10 cents for 10 bunches of bananas.
Then you got to figure out something to do with a case of bananas.
Right. Most of which are like super green. So,
yeah.
And if anybody's looking for this, I think there were two things that Caitlin was somewhat surprised about with it. Do you recall the two things, Caitlin?
Yeah. Well, one of them. One of the things I think I know both. But the main one was insert time, but let's say start time is 10 a.m. Open at 10. People start showing up at like 8:30. It's like unwritten, everybody knows that it's going to be open, but they still say they're not open.
10's for the tourists.
Yeah, if you go at 10, all the best stuff is gone. You've missed it. Because we're German, of German descent. And if you're not early, you're late, and that's your fault. The other one was
spelling.
Yeah, when we saw the sign on the way there, you were like, wait, where are we going?
Yeah, because the way it's spelled, I would have, other places in the country would think that said roots.
Yeah,
right?
it's pronounced roots, but it's spelled roots.
Yeah.
Yeah, ROOTS.
If you say it like roots, everyone will know you're not from around here.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You got to say
upcharge you
as Dutchy as you can. It's roots.
Yeah. They will absolutely upcharge you. They'll be like, "Oh, all right, let's go."
But it is a super cool thing. Anyway, that's okay. This is like the episode of random things, which I like doing once in a while. What else do you guys have going on this spring outdoors wise that jumps to mind?
We're a little, work's been especially crazy, so we're a little bit behind. Normally we've done some crappie fishing by now and we haven't gotten out yet. But it's been it has been a really weird year. We had a very cold winter, but it was very windy most of the weekends. And then, so that kind of kept us off the ice more than normal. And then it's like, same thing. It seems like every weekend is very windy. Mm-hmm. Or then it's like we get 1 or 2 nice days, we can't do anything, and then it gets cold. And it's just up and down and up and down. So,
we'll get out there to Speedwell pretty soon, I imagine.
We'll get out after crappies. We'll do a little bit of trout fishing here and there. So
we usually take a spring trip to deer camp, but since our beach trip falls earlier this year than it typically does, we won't get there for the spring trip. So maybe we'll do 4th of July.
Yeah. We'll get to camp at some point. We're hoping to have you guys, have Robert shipped home for the summer for
yes, please. Let's do that.
A spell at some point. One of these years.
I didn't fully vet this plan with my wife, so stay on the Aubert, Ray. No, I think we were talking when I was home. One of these years, I want to ship Robert in there for a couple of weeks in June. We might have the perfect opportunity for this, if not sooner, in 2 years. We just through some incredible kindness of friends here, one of our couple's friends, they also have kids. The wife entered the lottery to buy tickets for the Olympics in 2028. And I didn't even know any of this was going on, but she won the lottery and was able to purchase soccer tickets.
Oh, cool.
Whoa.
So we're going to see women's soccer in Columbus, Ohio in July of 2028 in the group stage.
Yep.
Sounds like a great time to have the boys out here.
Sorry. But we might couple that with a road trip in, and that could be an opportunity for deer camp, or that could be the perfect year to have Robert, have somebody come out and pick him up and fly in there a couple weeks ahead of time and hang out with you guys. I think that would be really good for him.
We really want to get the boys to deer camp in the summer, because I know they've been there a few times, but for a kid, the vibe of deer camp in June or July is way different than it is in
It's so
November.
relaxed. Just creek stomping, ice cream, fishing,
Yeah.
Looking for newts, looking for salamanders.
fireflies, all the things. Yeah, it's good time.
Yep. Robert hit a major milestone the other week, right, Kaylin?
He turned 7.5.
Well, he turned 7.5, but that wasn't the one I was talking about.
You're going to have to take it.
He caught his first fish with a fly rod.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
All by himself. He caught a
That's so
bass.
exciting.
Yeah.
So he's already a better fly fisherman than you?
Oh, zip it, Mark.
Pretty sure you too.
That must be Tim's influence.
It might be.
He
Yeah,
seemed to enjoy it.
he really did.
It was kind of a miserable day to be fly fishing.
Yeah, it was cold and windy.
Cold and
Every
windy.
day is a miserable day to be fly fishing.
I don't go that far.
I mean, it's better than not fishing.
Exactly.
Although sometimes you're not fishing because you're getting knots out of things.
Yeah.
We're doing that anyway. At least you're getting my knots out of things.
Yeah.
No, it was cold and windy and even spitting a little bit of rain, and we're fishing a pond, and it's hard to fly cast in the wind, but he caught 2 fish all by himself. I hooked 1 or 2 that I let him pull in too, but he caught 2 all on his own, and that kid never wants to stop fishing. He never wants to quit. It's just no matter how bad the conditions are. When we were up in the San Juan, it got dark on us, and he cried because, I made him go in that night. It was you guys took off to go to Emmett's soccer practice, and he wasn't as upset, but he was upset with me. I was freezing. He was shivering, but he's just nope, I want to keep fishing. I don't want to go. And then it's always when you do finally get him to go, the only way that you do it is by making a bargain with him that you will come back.
Time and place. Tell me when we'll be back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we come next week?
Does he make you do a blood oath?
Yeah.
Basically.
Right. It's always when exactly, are we coming back?
That's how he gets over the disappointment, is knowing the promise of being able to return.
Right.
What flies was he using?
A grasshopper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, topwater, I will say topwater with a fly rod for bass is a ton of fun.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah. And the pond we were fishing has a lot of really small bass in it. So, they were little ones, but who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Did frogging season start yet?
The frogs are out. It was too cold that afternoon that we were over there. If anybody that's listening it has experience with bullfrogs, I'm actually curious about something. And what I'm curious about is if you harvest them earlier in the spring, are the legs not as full and tougher because they've been, buried in the mud all winter, and you should like let it get farther into the summer when they've had more time to feed and fatten up, or does that not matter? I've fended off taking Robert, and now Emmett actually seems like he really wants to go and catch frogs too. Emmett talks all the time about eating frog legs. Like he just loves the frog legs. But I've been fending them off by saying like, we probably ought to, let them fatten up a little bit. So, but I don't know if I'm just making that up or not.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me, but that doesn't mean I'm right about it. There's a lot of things that make sense to me, but I'm wrong about.
You should call Pittman up.
Yeah, that would be our friend James Pittman, who got us into this whole frogging mess. Would be a good point of contact. I'll have to check that out with him.
I thought Craig Lucas was the problem with the frogging. I thought he was the one who introduced you.
No, this was not a Craig Lucas thing. Sounds like it could be a Craig Lucas thing, but it's not a Craig.
I thought he came up with who was he telling me Craig Lucas said to use orange earplugs and a treble hook.
You're right. He did give me that advice after we started doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But nope. It was our friend James from here who has now moved back to where he grew up in Louisiana, which is why he was so into frogging.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I think if you're an outdoors person and you live in Louisiana, you got to like catching frogs.
And crayfish, I would assume.
Yeah. Speaking of bass fishing, should we check in with Matt real quick and get the spring bass update if we can get him on the phone?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's see if I can actually manage to accomplish this. I don't know that I...
Favorites. Number 1, Matt.
Hold on. What number was Matt?
Oh, Caitlin.
What number was Matt?
The favorites list and the order. Now we've done it. Now we lost Mark. We'll never get him back on the podcast.
Bump
I'm
Mike
not even
down.
number 1.
He's below Matt on mine.
You're just lucky you showed me your phone and I was at the top.
Of course you're up.
Caitlin is not above Matt on this list.
I'm below a lot of people.
I don't even know how to find my favorites.
I don't know how these are ordered. All right, we're going to see if we can connect to Matt.
Oh.
I used to think it must be by who you talk to the most. It automatically shuffled them, but I don't think it's how it works.
Ruhl's Bass Fishing Consulting Services. No fish too big, no fish too small. How can I help you?
Oh, my. Bass Fishing Consulting Services, huh?
Well, I feel like you're often calling with bass fishing questions, so I had to turn into a business.
That is true, and you are on the podcast, and we are calling about bass fishing.
Yeah, don't give my number out.
Give us the 5-minute update on how the spring bass fishing's going.
Well, it's going well, I guess I would say, although haven't been out as much as I want to be, which is pretty much, I never get out as much as I want to be. But Bob Bridges and I did do a trip to Gaston, North Carolina. We caught a lot of fish, a lot of little fish, good trip, probably averaging 100 fish a day together.
That's a lot. That's a lot of fish.
Yeah, no real big ones. I think the big fish of the trip was like 3.5 pounds or something like that. But it's a great trip, good fishing. Fishing numbers wise is always pretty good there. We really have figured that lake out in the spring.
And
for numbers at least. That's
mostly spotted bass, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much all spotted bass. We think we maybe caught 10 to 12 largemouths in 3 days, as opposed to 300 spotted bass. And of course, the biggest fish of the trip was a largemouth, which is pretty typical. We did have some nice spots. Bob had one that was 3.5-ish, 3 something. We had a couple other ones that were probably right around 3 pounds, but it's a lot of 1.5 to 2 pound stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then actually last Friday, Grant and Kaylee and I went to a lake locally here and really had a good day on what I would consider big fish for Pennsylvania. I caught a 5-10, which that's a real big one for here. And then we had a whole bunch of bass in the 3.5 to 4 pound range.
Yeah.
So,
those are nice fish.
Yeah.
And
which that's kind of surprising for that lake. I kind of always had an idea that those big fish were there, but we could never seem to find them. And we just happened to hit a day where they were feeding.
Yeah.
You know.
And you said you were doing something a little different, right? Rigging a tube bait weedless.
Yeah, I was fishing. I went back to the old school, what we used to do 25 years ago, essentially, and started fishing tubes a little more this spring, weedless. And I actually caught a lot of fish on that in North Carolina also, which gave me confidence in it. And I decided to try it here last week. And it's continued to work. And it's nothing fancy. It's nothing real special. You know, it's just essentially just like you're saying, rigging a tube weedless.
Yeah.
You know, the bait that's been around for probably 50 years.
Right.
I bet tubes have been in the market. I kind of think it's one of those baits that most people forget about.
Yeah.
They always go with the newest, fanciest, whatever. And not that those don't work, but sometimes it's kind of nice to get back to the, you know, what you did as a kid.
Right.
Last year in the spring, I was fishing the river, throwing a Z-Man swim bait and not having very much luck. And I snagged a line and pulled it up, and there was a tube on the other end of it.
Yeah.
I cut that tube off, tied it on. I ended up catching 6 or 7 fish before he left then in like the last hour. So
Those tubes, man.
old reliable.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing, they're kind of amazing how well they work. It's definitely one of our confidence baits when we bass fish out here.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really. Last spring, I fished some tubes a little bit in Kawaneski, and actually, I caught the big fish of the trip that week, which that trip's coming up again here very soon on a tube. And then didn't really fish it a whole, like fish it the first day or two. Didn't catch a lot of fish, but we weren't catching fish on anything, and then essentially never went back to it. I'm going to try to fish it a little more again this year, see how it goes. But
yeah, so that's talking about Kawaneski real quick, Matt. That's kind of the big thing that you got coming up fishing wise, right?
Yeah, Kawaneski is second full week of May. Me and Bob Bridges, Dad, and Gary Kling are all going up for essentially from weekend, you know, a whole week, Sunday to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be fishing every day as long as the weather's nice enough to get in the boat. Which, you know, it's got to be pretty ugly for us not to go out.
Yeah. Are you going to break 6 pounds this year?
I don't know. I hope.
You've had a couple.
We didn't break it last year. Oh yeah, we've had quite a few 6-pounders over the years out of there. So I would say, I don't know if the fishing was the highlight of the trip last year or the morning that we had thunderstorms and we made lasagna for breakfast.
Oh boy.
that sticks with me. It was a good morning.
Well, I guess as long as you have a backup plan.
That's right.
And then real quick before you go, Hunter's back in Wyoming, right?
Yeah, Hunter's back in Wyoming. He'll be there all till end of October. I know he's had a pretty good day of trout fishing over, I don't know if it was the end of last week or over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'll have to get him on to talk about that maybe, but
he's tried to call me since we started this podcast, so I assume that he's being frustrated by the turkeys right now, right?
Possibly. He also was gill netting walleyes today, so maybe he wants to talk to you about that.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
So they're doing some program where they're trying to get them out of the lake, so they're actually trying to eliminate them in whatever body of water he's talking about.
Yeah.
But,
well, we'll have to check in with Hunter one of these weeks coming up here.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the bass fishing update.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Well, there's Matt with the bass fishing.
That was the most lively intro he's ever had.
He was really
Yeah, it was
excited.
good.
He's been sitting there
Rehearsing
rehearsing that in the mirror.
Must have been.
We were just talking about how like he really could be kind of a tackle consultant, like highly specialized, somebody that wants to get advice from somebody else about what they should be buying for their trip. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
he could figure that out.
I'm often calling him about hook sizes, like because you can get really in the weeds with like hook sizes and weights and how you want to throw and what you know what I mean. Like just even on one single bait, you can rig it so many different ways, and in every different way you rig it, you need a different size hook and a different weight and a different. So like I'm often calling him and being like, what should I order?
You do know you're making a mistake there, right, Mark?
Why?
Because if you go over there,
Oh yeah, no,
you can just accumulate.
no.
and you're like,
We wear big pockets.
I don't know what you're talking about, Matt. Like, what kind of hook do you mean? How do you rig that bait? Then he'll just give you stuff.
Yeah, I know. Or you just take stuff that's sitting around.
Oh man,
Mine
he
now.
gave me
I always-
half a dozen packs of baits when I was there a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, I don't know, you can have these, but I'm not finding all. I was going to give you these other colors, and I know he's got tubs and tubs of soft plastic baits. So many tubs that he can't even find the right tub when he's looking for it.
I always ask that, like him and Matt Gowdy. I'm like, how many of these baits do you actually like of all the baits you have? I call you, right?
Yeah,
And you've bought how many glide baits and how many jerk baits and how many crank baits and how many jigs, and then I call you and what are you fishing with? A Senko,
tube.
a tube, a Ned rig. Put them all on Ned rigs. Did you fish with anything else? No, the Ned rigs were working. So, is the number of baits you tried? What's the number of baits you actually fish with compared to the number of baits you've never even touched but you own? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, you know what? This reminds me of something. I said we recorded 4 episodes, but I got bits and pieces of things when I was home for other episodes, and one of them I want to do an episode about witticisms and mixed metaphors. And Pop Grant was so full of witticisms. He had all these sayings. It was kind of like, it's almost like a Seinfeld thing, like the way there's a Seinfeld episode for every situation. Pop Grant had some piece of wisdom for every situation. And he always said that for a fishing lure to be successful, it doesn't have to catch fish. It only has to catch fishermen. As long as you got people filling up their tackle boxes with your lures, you doing it right. And boy, Matt has a lot of fishing stuff, doesn't he?
I feel like he's drawn by the name Electric Chicken, Sexy Penny.
Yeah.
Or some of his other
well,
ones.
they're good at that.
The colors.
Yeah, no. You name
Right.
it something cool, something ridiculous.
Yep.
They're gonna fly off the shelf.
Pollo Loco.
That'd be a fun job.
Wouldn't it?
Hmm.
It's like people who name fingernail polishes,
Right.
but better. Like
Right.
they're even more creative.
Not my Chihuahua bites.
That is a fingernail polish color, isn't it?
Yeah.
My Chihuahua bites. Oh, boy. Last thing to cover real quick, guys. We got the big beach trip coming up, right?
Yeah.
Do you know, Rachel? Do you know what Robert asked me yesterday?
I hope it's if he can go out cast netting with me.
He asked me if Aunt Rachel will be cast netting.
Always.
He called it net fishing, but he said, "Will Aunt Rachel be net fishing?"
Always and forever.
You better
Yep.
hope because she's the only one who can throw one of them things.
Every now and then, my casts aren't too bad.
We got a new net last year. Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Because Kaylee started to wanting to go out as well, and instead of us like alternating throws, we did get a new net, and we got one that's really nice and easy to throw. So
We have a 10-footer. You throw a 10-footer.
yeah,
And I think we got a 6.
we did get a 6.
The smaller the net size, the easier it is to throw.
If you're listening and you don't know what we're talking about, a cast net is basically it's a round net that you pack up in a certain way, and then you literally throw the net or cast the net, and it flies out. If you do it correctly, it flies out into a circle.
Pancake.
When we're talking about the size of the net, we're talking about the diameter of the net in feet when you cast it. And obviously, the bigger the net is, the harder it is to cast. But these things are great fun, and Rachel's very good at it and has shown me some things that I had not previously seen myself, including, I think the coolest thing that I ever saw you catch was a seahorse, a baby seahorse in the lower Chesapeake Bay.
What did I catch last year? It was enormous, but then we didn't really know what it was. Was it just like this giant saltwater chub?
I don't remember that. I believe you.
Poppy has a video of it. It's like 1.5 feet long, but you didn't know it looked like a creek chub.
I don't remember that. I remember in North Carolina one year, you caught mullet that I didn't even know mullet got that big. They were like 2 footers, and she filled a net with 2-foot long mullet.
Right.
Like just like crazy. I mean, baby flounder she's caught.
I caught a tagged flounder once.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
That is cool.
What were the like little, I guess they're baby spade fish we catch sometimes down there. They're cool. And when we went to North Carolina one year, shrimp like crazy. That was a ton of fun.
The new net is a lot easier for being very accurate at where you're throwing, whereas, if we're in schools, I'll throw the big 10-footer because you're going to get a lot more, coverage. But if we're targeting something, I'll throw the smaller net.
Yeah. And if you would go online and look at videos of people throwing nets, like there's pros out there that throw like 20-footers, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
The skill
It's an
that
art.
takes to throw a net that big, it's
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get the whole family, even Kate and Jed and baby Annie are coming. So late June, we're going to all get together on the eastern shore of the Chesapeake Bay in Cape Charles, Virginia. And
What
have
would
our big-
crabbing be like that time of year?
should be
Usually
good.
winter. Okay.
Yeah. Should be all right. We'll have to check the seasons and everything, but I want to record a straight up crabbing podcast because it's such a fun thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we get the kids to engage and get on the podcast and talk about it.
We'll definitely get some great content while we're out there too. I
Yeah.
have so many reels lined up to do. I definitely want to do the one with Sim.
Yeah.
And the recipe that we made, and then we were waiting for him to try it to finish that one out. But it
Right.
was his response was a little underwhelming because I think he, I don't know, maybe it was better tasting back when, I don't know if we did it properly.
I
I don't know.
I can't imagine it was. I hope it was better.
I think he liked it. I think it
No,
was.
No, I think he
I
liked
think
it
he
too.
liked it.
I think you liked it.
Yeah.
It's just it's not. I mean it was like a roast to me. I mean I don't know what your thoughts were on it, Mike, but
Yeah, it tasted like a good roast. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was 100%. Now, I just bought the meat. I didn't have to do the work to can it, but it was 100% worth it for me. A little bit of nostalgia.
yeah. and Uncle Dick was excited about it too.
Yeah.
I think so.
What did he say when he tried it?
I didn't actually get to ask him. Did you ask him?
No, I didn't talk to him about it.
No, I didn't either. But we sent them each with a can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, John,
We'll get a report from Mom and Dad on one of these trips when they go visit him. So,
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
yep. No, and again, we're talking about all the previous podcast stuff, but that was we took real nice beef loin that we got at Valentine's Day from Costco and canned it because Uncle Sim said that canned beef loin was the best meat that he had ever had. So,
We're talking about real Valentine's Day, not
oh yeah, real Valentine's Day, not the first day of turkey season, Valentine's Day, the lame
not the one
Valentine's
you're
Day.
trying to pass off.
Oh,
no jewelry, just TSS.
Same price.
She stays married to me. That's all I have to say about it.
We are lucky men, Mike.
You're not lying. Lucky beyond any justifiable reason. All right, guys. Well, thanks for sitting down to do this kind of eclectic episode of the podcast. We even managed to get Matt on here. So anything else to add before we get going?
Negative.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for doing it. Thanks, everybody, for listening. As always, you can find all of the content on the website, www.outdoorrules.com. Rachel's managing the socials over there, so that's mostly her work at Outdoor Rules on Instagram, and a lot of it shows up on the Facebook page, too.
On a note there, we did hit 7 million views on one of the reels she made this weekend. So
7 million people
7
looked at
million
that.
views. Yep.
more people looked at that than looked at Steven Ornella's video of Pet,
Of the deer that we sent him.
which
Yeah.
is insane to me.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So
Nice.
she's done great work over there. I understand why they fired me.
So much better than the last digital media manager.
I need to get back to it. It's just been a busy season, but I'm excited and I have a paper of content that I'm ready to make. So
Nice. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. Love yous.
Me too.
you guys too.
Hunting and fishing, the great outdoors, mixing history, laughter, love, and folklore, creating memories with family and friends. These are the trophies that matter in the end. Outdoor Rules.